Hello fellow rock lovers, welcome back to the channel. Are you ready to start another rock tumbling video? Let's do it. Let's take these rocks here and see how well these will all tumble and polish. What are these, you ask? Turns out this is all Texas petrified palmwood. That's right, petrified palmwood from Texas. Good friend of mine, Stephen Blyskill, gave me these to tumble. He's a rock expert, and he found all of these at a house in Houston that belonged to a longtime rock collector, paleontologist, fellow who collected just all types of different rocks. When they left the house, they left behind a bunch of these in the yard, and they were able to go through the yard and just pick up lots of this stuff. So he asked me if I would do a rock tumbling video. I said, of course. I have tumbled palmwood before, and in my experience, this stuff turns out just beautiful. Look at this. Look at some of the colors we're going to have in this batch. This should be really nice. What I'm going to do is get all of these rolling in probably a 4-pound barrel. Get them in the 6090 silicon carbide. Keep them rolling until all these are really smooth, which is probably going to take me a couple of months. That's okay. It'll be worth the wait. Once these are smooth, I will bring them back in here and I'll show you what they look like before we move them on to the polishing stages in the vibratory tumbler. Welcome back to the video. It's been literally 3 months since I started coarse grit tumbling this petrified palmwood. The reason it took so long is because I wanted all of these pieces to be as close to perfect as I can make them. And I think that's what we have here. They're all pretty much flawless as petrified wood can be. So you'll see little areas like this on the side, but that's just one of those channels right there. You can't really do much about that. Oh, I believe we are going to have some stunningly beautiful rocks when these get polished. I cannot wait to show you how beautiful these are once they're shiny. Hope I'm not wrong. I know I'm building that up, but I believe these will be pretty special. Let's find out if I'm right. What I'm going to do next is get all of these into the vibratory tumbler. That's right. Once it's in there, I'm going to go through 4 different grits over about 12 days. After I'm finished with that 14,000 grit aluminum oxide polish, I'm going to bring all these back in here and I'll show you what they look like. After several months, this batch of Texas petrified palmwood is finally finished. And wow, did it turn out beautiful and shiny. Let's take a look at some of the nicer pieces. I really love tumbling this petrified palmwood. It is just so pretty and it takes a great shine. Check that out. Those patterns too with those tubes in there. Oh, I'm no botanist, nor am I a geologist for that matter. I don't know what those tubes are. It's something in the wood. Just makes these palmwood pieces so special. This one actually has some color in it, not so much on this side, but check it out on this side here. Can you see that? Oh, sure. We've got some reds right there along the ridge, then the lighter stuff, the darker stuff. And there, of course, are the little channels, little pock marks on there. Makes all of these so special, so unique, and just beautiful. Some of them, like this one, seem to have a finer grain. If you look, these little tubes are much closer together. You see that right in there? Gives it more of a conventional petrified wood look. But yet, sure enough, you see right there, those are all just fine tubes or fibers or whatever that stuff is. I don't know if I prefer the lighter pieces like this or the darker ones. These lighter ones, you can see some awesome detail. Look at the pattern in this. That is beautiful stuff. Hope you agree. Sometimes you can find the tubes at very odd angles. Here are the ends of them, and then you see here how it cuts through the rock. They look like a bunch of needle syringes there, don't they? That's sort of scary, those coming at you. That's a nightmare right there, a bunch of needles coming at you. Huh. Leave it to me to turn a beautiful rock into a nightmare. Here is an example of one of the darker pieces. I guess the detail is still in there, those fine little specks. You see that? Didn't really notice that until this got polished. That's what's so great about polishing these rocks. It brings out all of the detail. That's super cool. And no, that's not leftover polishing compound. That is just in the rock right there. Here's a fun piece. Check it out. It's got this curve to it. I like that. And once again, there are our little tubes. Now this one I'm just noticing has a couple of spalls right there. Doggone it, I thought I tumbled all those out. Oh well. So they're not all perfect. This one's super cool. Check it out. Here's one end. You see your little structures there. Now look at the different colors here coming through. And now it's a whole different pattern right there. A whole different color, let's say, from this side and that side. This one has it all. Now here's one that looks almost like conventional petrified wood we find here in Central Texas. Not that we don't find the palm wood here, we just don't find a lot of it. But this one is the right color and everything. What gives it away as palm wood are those little tubes you can still see. Just not as many of them. The way those little tubular structures make their way through this one, I could call this one polka dot rock. You see here on the top side and here on the bottom side. Yeah, there they are. You can see them, but we cut them just right on this one. This one's a little different because it has larger tubular structures in it. You see that there? And check out this side here. And you could drive a car through those. This one is light colored and lovely. Look at this one. Ooh, it's a very good tumble. They all have a great shine. This one though is practically flawless. Not quite. Well, you've got a little hole right there, but what are you gonna do about that? Otherwise, this one's a really good looking tumbled rock. This one's interesting because it shows that those little tubular structures don't have to be perfectly straight. You look here, you can see the waviness to them. They're almost confused looking. You see that? Like, oh, where am I supposed to be? I wonder how that happens. Most of these have perfectly straight tubes, but not this oddball. I like this one. It's got the nice polka dot pattern over here. There you can see the sort of almost looks like bands. And now it's a different color. Look at that. That is really cool. I wonder why it's light colored here and a little bit darker there. What's up with that? Check out this little jewel here. It's a very good tumble, very good shine. And look how these just streak across this thing, almost like a meteor shower. Wow, that's really cool. There are the little polka dots and the meteor shower. This one was part of the batch of palm wood, but looking at it now, this is probably just conventional petrified wood. I don't think this is palm wood. This looks a lot like what we find around here near Austin. I guess it could be palm wood. You see the grain structure there. It's very fine if it is. Otherwise, I'm calling this one regular old petrified wood. Digging through the pile, I picked this one up thinking, oh, they'll love this. It's another flawless tumble. And then I looked and realized, oh, look at that. I didn't quite get all the flaws out. You see that spall right there? Doggone it. That happens. I'm not going to bother putting it back in the coarse grit for that. No. Looks like a big old shark tooth right there, doesn't it? Well, what do you think of this beauty here? Look at that pattern. It's a nice tumble. Ooh, wait. Oh, see a flaw in that one. Doggone it. I take back what I said about a nice tumble. Let me change that. It's a beautiful rock with all kinds of interesting features and a slightly flawed tumble. When I picked this one up a moment ago, I thought, this looks like one of those classic paintings right here. I don't know what it is about that pattern right there, but it looks like something I would see in a museum. This one's interesting because it appears to have some translucency to it, so you can begin to see those little structures going through the rock. That's interesting. Well, this one I'm just going to call the crazy palmwood. Look at the pattern that those little tube-like structures are forming inside this thing. It's almost random. Very different from the ones we've been looking at, which appear rather uniform. These are just all over the place. Guess what? You've made it to the top 5. These are the 5 best of the batch, in my opinion. Starting with this one here. I just like the shape of it. And it has some interesting features. For example, you see that delineation there between these two halves. Oh, also down there. That's interesting, right? It looks different from the other pieces we were seeing. It's still palmwood. It's just different. And then there's this interesting one here, which has the translucency. You can see those little tubes going down there. Oh, sure. Check that out right there. It's like they're floating in some sort of murky liquid. And it also has this coarser stuff right here. You see that? That's different. I don't think we've seen that before. I like that combination. Okay, we're to the top 3. Look at this beauty here. This was one of my favorites throughout the whole tumbling process. It took a great shape. And that's half the battle right there. Those many, many weeks in the coarse grit, that's why we do it. To get this nice shape. But then check out the patterns in this. Whoa! Oh, that is really cool. Yeah, this one gets the bronze medal. Picking the runner-up was tough. The last 2 are really nice. I decided to give this one second place. It has nice color in it. It's a great tumble. Look at that pattern right there. Wow. Isn't that beautiful? Now, that looks like a painting. You can imagine those being brush strokes, right? This, ooh, look at that. This is a good looking rock right here. But it's not number 1. How's that possible? For best of the batch, I decided to go with this one, which you're thinking, really? Check this out. This one is super agatized, and you can see those little wavy tubes going through there. That is cool. This is an agatized piece of petrified palmwood, which, to my eye anyway, is really special and deserving of best of the batch. I sure want to thank you all so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. And a special thanks goes out to Mr. Stephen Blyskool for providing these beautiful pieces of palmwood for all of us to enjoy. I am very happy with the way this batch turned out. I think we have some stunners. I hope you agree. Once again, thank you so much for watching this. I do appreciate it. And if you like videos like this, please check my playlist. I've got lots more of these rock tumbling videos for you to enjoy.